It's me. Can you hear this? You can't because I've got a noise gate on. That's just me tapping my award. I've never won an award, but now I'm an award winner. You're listening to an award-winning podcast. Heavy Music Awards. And it is heavy. Hear that? That's a heavy award. I've already chipped it, actually. I got really drunk celebrating. And I dropped it twice, chipped it. But now it's in the safety of my home. Yeah, took home the gold. Best podcast at the Heavy Awards. Thank you to everyone that voted. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they did tell me in an email that I absolutely fucking crushed the vote. So, thank you, loyal listeners. I had a lovely time. I had maybe one of the best times of my life. It was just a good fucking time. Saw a lot of friends. Did a lot of drinks. You know what? I saw a lot of friends because there was a lot of people that were there for Slam Dunk. We went out for dinner and stuff. But I saw a lot of friends that have... one of the best things of the weekend, I saw a lot of friends who've used the pandemic to work on themselves, whether that be like quitting drugs or getting in shape or anything like that. And I saw about at least 4 people over the week, that like really turned their life around during the pandemic. And with most news about friends during the pandemic being incredibly bad, it was really nice to see some people that had prospered during it. I was a little bit anxious at the actual awards though, guys. COVID anxiety, post-COVID, well, I mean, it's not even post, is it? The crowded space anxiety is real. Sorry if I didn't get to, if I was a bit weird, maybe a lot of elbow bumps. I actually had a graze from using my elbow to bump so much. Performance injury from bumping elbows. Anyway, there's a bunch of new merch, isn't there? Oh, lovely sweatshirts. Oh, a dress for boys and girls and days. Doesn't matter. Wear the dress. Wear the sweatshirts. Lovely, www.thedownbeat.at, so it spells Downbeat. You could go there, pick something up. Oh, fuck. I've already got so many clothes, Craig. So much clothes, so many clothes. I don't know the correct English. But you know what? I'd love to just maybe get exclusive access next time, or maybe just get an early episode, or an episode with Adam D that you haven't put on the actual normal podcast services. How can I do that? Well, basically, the Patreon costs just £1. If you can afford the internet, you can afford the Patreon. You don't really get any perks, but sometimes there's perks. But if you can afford the internet, you can afford £1 for my Patreon. Isn't that a nice thing to do? For you to do that would be great, wouldn't it? It keeps us doing this shit. And also, it's like £1. I'm not being like, $5.99. I'm not pretending to you like, I'm as good as Netflix, because I'm not. I ain't got Ozark. I ain't even got Big Bang Theory, if I'm honest with you. This is dog shit. Don't bother giving me £1. But if you've got a fucking £1 knocking around, that's £12 a month for nothing. Patreon.com/downbeat. My guest this week is Emma Boster from Dying Wish, the vocalist of Dying Wish, whose album Fragments of a Bitter Memory is out on the 1st of October. So we obviously talk about that. But it's fucking sick. They're like all of your early 2000s metalcore dreams came true. There's Zill bells, there's high-tuned snares, there's that particular production of the time. Really good album. Make sure you go check them out. They got like, what did we talk about? We talked about veganism. We talked about my drag career. Is it career? Who knows? We talked about fucking bacon people. We talked about their album. We talked about music. It was just a great time. She cancelled the call by accident about 10 times. It's been the longest I've ever spent editing, so I'm sorry if anything goes out of sync, but you think I'm going to sit here after 3 hours of editing and listen to the whole fucking thing again? You are very much mistaken. It's Emma Boster from Dying Wish on the Downbeat podcast. Every time I do this, I want to give up. I want to stop.
Yeah. I don't have a podcast and I already hate this.
You said you'd never done it like this before. I did Adam D from Kill Switch before you, and he'd never done it to this level before.
Yeah.
So it's worth it because it pays off. It ends up sounding really, really fucking good. But you've just seen, we wasted 8 minutes there, plus about 10 minutes to set up. The stress is too much for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but the hard part's over now, I think.
I fucking hope so. Whatever app you're using, what's it called? Give them a plug.
It's called Simple Recorder. I have an ancient Mac, so I just like downloaded the first free thing that I found that looked legit. So, because it doesn't have.
I really hope it works.
Yeah, it's going. I'm looking at it right now, so I can see that it's working. So if it doesn't work, I'm gonna find the nearest bridge and jump.
Nice. I like. Whoa. What are you drinking? What you got there?
I've got this is an iced Americano from a little place called Dutch Bros. Have you ever heard of a Dutch Bro?
I have. I've been to a Dutch Bros.
Yeah, so Dutch Bros is native to Oregon, Southern Oregon, where I kind of grew up. And so I just, I'm a loyal Dutch Bro.
It looks like it's going to be shit, Dutch Bros, but I quite like it.
It's honestly not great coffee, but once you throw your expectations out the window, it's fine. And the people are super obnoxious. That's like kind of their whole, that's like their whole bit.
Yeah, I remember that. I swear it was like a drive-through thing, and the people were like really fucking rude, and I was like, oh, and then someone was like, oh, that's the thing. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're just like super obnoxious and like, always are like asking all about your business and are super like intrusive. But it's a good thing. Drive-through coffee is like kind of only a thing here, I've noticed, except for like Dunkin', I guess.
I mean, we've started having it for Starbucks. We don't have Dunkin' here, but we've got Starbucks, and sometimes I'll go. I've got a fucking very nice real coffee rig in there, but sometimes I'm like, I want a fucking shit coffee with sweetener and vanilla and all the bullshit. Put all the fucking bullshit in it for me.
Yeah.
I did it earlier today.
What'd you get?
I got bullshit.
Nice.
I got a venti cold brew with sugar-free vanilla syrup because I'm on intermittent fasting and it fucking sucks.
It does suck. So how long are you going without eating?
18 hours.
Jesus. That's insane.
18.6.
Wow.
I want to say that it's because of like a healing thing. People say that like your body heals better, and I'm trying to heal a fucking literal broken back right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll start doing that. But also, because my back being fucked, I know you're a gym bunny. That's gym bunny, by the way, is a gender neutral term. Okay. I'm also a gym bunny. That was not an offensive thing. Yeah. I would say I'm probably more of a gym bunny.
You are.
Than quite a lot of females, because I'm usually head to toe in pink at the gym.
That's awesome.
I've got my pink Downbeat. I'll get it out in a minute. Anyway, so like no gym.
Right.
So I'm like, I was getting ripped. And then this happened. I was like, I'm just gonna eat unless I force myself not to.
Right.
So it's only a very specific amount of food I can eat in 6 hours. Like even if I ate hard as fuck, I'm not going to gain weight because it's real hard to eat 2,500 calories. So I'm waiting 18 hours of sugar-free bullshit drinks, and then I go fucking nuts.
So how does caffeine affect you on an empty stomach like that? Because I feel like I would freak.
I love it. It's like doing a fucking line. It's like drinking a line.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have an iced coffee addiction. I drink one, if not two, a day, especially lately because, live music is coming back, and so I'm working at a venue again. And so, I'll work like a double where work my day job and then go to the venue. And so I always get an afternoon coffee, and then I wonder why I don't sleep. caffeine, it's just like, it's a love-hate relationship. It gets me through the day, but like, I'll just realize I've been silently panicking for like, an hour, and I'm like,
wait, that's why I do it. It's the coffee. I thought it's just a generalized panic.
Right. Yeah. I've tried to take caffeine breaks. It's never, I've taken like breaks from drinking and smoking, and it's, for some reason, coffee is just like the hardest one to kick for me.
I can do everything else except quitting coffee. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. There's a part of me, like, coffee's not fucking naughty, but there's a part of me that just needs to do something bad. I don't know if it's like self-destructive or something.
Right.
But I'm like, if I quit, like, let's say I go a bit of time without drinking, I'll go fucking harder on coffee because I need to fucking, I don't know, I just need to do something. I could not go straight edge. I don't know how they fucking do it. I respect them. Right. I just couldn't do it.
Right. I'm the only person in my band that drinks, actually. So we have 3 members that are straight edge, and then Andrew has been sober for over a year now, and I don't know. So basically, I'm pretty sober on tour, which I do enjoy. Especially, I don't really enjoy playing shows like without more than like a drink. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was straight edge when I was a teenager. First getting into hardcore, I was like, this is the cool thing. Everyone's doing it. And then it didn't last long. But
each their own. You know what's funny about, like, because I know a lot of people that were also straight edge when they were teenagers. What I like to do to annoy them, if you ever want to annoy them, and I'm not going to say this to you to annoy you, but if someone says, yeah, I was straight edge when I was a teenager, and you just go, you mean you just obeyed the law?
Right.
That's all you did. That's all you did was obey the law. See, but no one fucking does that.
I like to break the law personally, so.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I just love doing naughty shit. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm like, I'm not supposed to do that.
Right.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. On the topic of that, I always have to have at least one unhealthy coping mechanism at a time under my belt. You know what I mean?
Nice. I think I probably got about fucking 10.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything about it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like right now, the intermittent fasting. Oh, there is something for someone to fucking analyze there.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
and I'm going, oh, it's for healing.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, I tried intermittent fasting, and I find that stuff like that and like seriously dieting is kind of a slippery slope for me. So I tried intermittent fasting, and then I just like binge eat, you know what I mean? Which is like the point, but it didn't feel healthy to me at all. And I didn't necessarily notice any benefits like physically. I wasn't losing weight or anything like that. So
I'm definitely losing weight, but I'm also definitely on the brink of this being a mental disorder because I am spending all day thinking about food.
Right.
And then I am eating the food. Mm-hmm. Lots of it.
Right.
And then I'm feeling incredibly guilty for eating the food. Mm-hmm. And there is a word for this kind of eating, but I can't go to the fucking gym. I definitely have some. This is like fucking therapy. Am I in therapy, or am I supposed? You're supposed to be on my podcast.
It's fine. You can. I'll bill you for it later. It's all good.
I'm really hungry. Basically, I'm hungry right now.
When do you get to eat?
17 minutes ago, but I'm here with you, so I'm just going to extend it.
Okay, got it. Is that why you wanted to do it earlier? So that you could go eat after this?
No. It was actually because I had a Stray stream.
Nice.
Before this.
Yeah.
And I needed to put the two together. And it was either going to have to be the Stray stream after you or the Stray stream before you. I guess technically it was so I could eat. Because then otherwise they'll be doing the Stray stream after this. And I'd be no, wait, Tom had a stream. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
Can we shout out Tom Williams real quick?
I'll shout out Tom Williams every day of the week.
Same.
But you give him a little shout out right now.
Tom Williams is my favorite person. I don't know. He FaceTimed me, and Ramsey was on the phone, and she's cute, and perfect people make perfect children, and
isn't it insane how cute she is?
I can't believe it.
I'm so glad as well, because it's like, if she was a little ugly little rat baby, like, I would have to be like, oh yeah, she's so cute, and then in my head I'm like, thing is fucking insane.
Little
but then,
goblin.
Yeah, like a dark Tom, Tom and Cheryl with the dark crystal baby. Mm-hmm. But we don't have to do that because she's genuinely incredibly cute.
She's so cute. Like the cutest little baby I've ever seen.
Tom manages you.
He does, yes.
What were you going to say before I attempt to start the podcast?
Do men get baby fever? Is that a thing?
Is baby fever, is that being broody? Is that the same thing?
Broody.
Is that a UK term? Broody is like when someone wants a baby.
I've not heard that term either. I mean, words are hard for me already.
The American one.
Yeah. It's like, you got
American.
Yeah.
You got baby fever.
It is kind of gross.
We've got it really doesn't. What, you mean the baby is like fucking has a temperature? The baby's unwell.
I have the fever for the baby.
We call it being broody, which I guess BROODY, which I guess is a UK term. But yes, they do. Men do get it. But I think Ramsey's maybe the only time out of all of my other friends who have had babies, no offense to them, Ramsey's the only one. I think maybe it's because Tom shows more of Ramsey, like what I would be doing. Like, oh, she did something fucking dumb, I'm going to put it on the internet. I would 100% do that. But I've got, some other people are like, they can't give the consent, so shut up. I'm not trying to make the Nevermind cover.
Right. Like, I was just talking about that.
To Tom, because it's all Tom can talk about.
I was just talking about that last night with people, and it is kind of fucked up. That somebody thought that would be okay. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't feel any one way or another about it. What do you think?
Oh, I was gonna deep dive there.
Go
for it. Is that a politician answer though? Are you? Because I'll throw myself under the bus. I don't care. I think yes. I mean, it's crazy that he got $200. His parents got $200 for it. Mm-hmm. But I think we're trying to do an upbeat podcast here. I called the Downbeat, funnily enough. The prosecution are saying it's fucking pornography, which, I mean,
I don't know. There's a level of that is like, okay, so you're sexualizing an infant. You know what I mean? And that doesn't feel great,
It's a fucking happy podcast already.
Yeah.
But no, do you know what I mean? Like, I think it reads like the guy probably figured out. I don't know. He might be traumatized, but he's previously recreated the album, got it tattooed on his chest, and maybe thinking now, oh, I got $200 for that. Mm-hmm. But the issue should be, even if you're calling it pornography, the issue should be with his parents because they let it happen for $200.
Wow, I didn't know it was $200. You've done a lot more research about this than I have. I've done
so much research.
I read like half an article and then just have been having conversations like these with people about it, just very briefly. This is the most in-depth conversation I've had about it. But I agree with you. I
haven't done enough research to be like put on a list or anything. I'm not like putting fucking buzzwords into Google. Mm-hmm. But have you seen how much he's asking for?
No.
$150,000 off all 15 people responsible, which aren't his parents. It's just like Geffen Records and stuff like that. So it's like $1.75 million, which he should have just fucking asked for it. Like Dave Grohl, you put my baby dick all over the world and I'm fucking unhappy with it. Could I get more than the $200? Because I think you can agree it's an iconic fucking thing.
Right.
Could I have a little bit more money? Because it's kind of insane. I didn't get to give consent and whatever, that could look weird. Mm-hmm. Could I please have some money? And Dave Grohl would go, yeah, fuck yeah. But instead it's gone.
Pocket change.
Yeah. I'm on two sides of it because I'm like the same as you. Like at the end of the day, the guy didn't ask for it. It's
true. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but at the end of the day, get your bag, king. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it, so yeah.
I'm not opposed to it at all, but I think you're getting a lawyer involved, and then the way the lawyers just say, well, this is clearly this, and they're just like real black and white about it, and I'm like, oh, come on, just say the guy deserves more money than $200.
Right.
So give him the more money.
Right. Do you think they'll settle?
Anyway,
I think they'll pay him, right?
I think if I was Dave Grohl, I'd pay him the whole fucking lot. I'd be like, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have that picture of you for $200. You want $1 million?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Exactly.
But now that the prosecution have said, I think the prosecution is relying on calling it pornography. If you settle for that, does that now make you look like you're going, actually, yeah, it was?
Right. Yeah. So,
big questions.
That's tricky. I mean, yeah, you want to pay out, but you don't want to admit to being dirty. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That sounds terrible.
Rough.
Okay, so with that said, the new Dying Wish album, Fragments of the Bitter Memory. Mm-hmm. Correct title?
Correct. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Okay, and the front cover is that huge naked baby, like just like Godzilla thing.
The biggest dick you've ever seen on a baby.
Fuck. I mean, that's if anyone's thinking, I better fucking Google this now. Go and Google it, but it's not that. It's not that. Please don't.
Sorry to disappoint.
Please don't go and Google huge baby. Anyway, what's going on with it? When's it coming out? What's the deal?
It comes out on October 1st via Sharptone Records. Shout out, they're wonderful. And we've put out a couple singles so far that people seem to like. I am super stoked about the record. We're going to be on tour with Motionless in White and Silent Planet when that happens. So, yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, it rocks. Have you listened to it?
That was such a professional reply. I love it because then I did that on purpose. Now you've done what I was supposed to do. So the Coward song, the video's come out. I don't know what you don't know what it's called. Cowards Feed?
Cowards Feed, Cowards Bleed.
Or vice versa. It's feed and bleed.
Do I gotta Google it?
It's gotta be feed and bleed. Can you test it?
Let me... Here, wait, actually. Cowards Feed, Cowards Bleed. I knew it. Why? I don't know why I was second guessing myself like that.
Because what you just said off camera, off the record, mm-hmm. Was you get stuck on working titles. Mm-hmm. I do. And you're explaining the last track. What's the last track's working title?
Ophelia.
Which is like a play on words? Kind of,
yeah, like Ophelia. I don't know. We've got a lot of bits in the band. That's kind of one of them is like silly words. But the song's just like a really pretty song. It's a ballad. So we thought like naming it after like a pretty name. Ophelia is like a name. So it just made sense.
It's much nicer and like less mental than all of the Stray All of the Stray working titles are just so dumb.
Let's hear it.
Have you got that? Like, Gary. There's one that's just called Gary. Barnacle Boy.
Awesome.
I've named all of these so far. The Beatles. Oh, that was just called Beatles, I think. They're all dumb. They're so dumb. On the last 2 records ago, Only Death Is Real, we had I'm Going to Jail because it sounded like quite similar to a different song in its demo state, and then Will Putney was like, nope, you can't do that. And then another one which sounded a little bit like the same song, which was just called I'm Also Going to Jail. So the working titles were I'm going to jail, I'm also going to jail.
That's great.
And it's just, but I can, like, if I had to name you the new Stray album, I know maybe 3 song titles.
Yeah.
I just know the demos.
I'm trying to look on my laptop to find another working title because there's one really good one. We had Beast Mode, BIECEMOWD, Beast Mode.
Beast Mode, that's funny.
Bust and Crust is one of them.
Where did that come from?
We were talking about nutting and pizza because we were recording the record in Belleville, New Jersey, where there's really good pizza. So, Bust and Crust.
Love Belleville. I'm pretty sure I know the pizza place you mean. No, only because of that studio.
Right.
Like,
I love the studio.
I fucking love the studio. What else do you eat when you get there?
Well, I'm the only vegan person in the band now. So we went to, what's that store? ShopRite?
Oh, yeah, down the road.
ShopRite.
Literally. Yeah.
We cooked a lot at the studio. I don't really remember eating out. I mean, Will Putney, he would Postmates vegan shit every once in a while. So I tried a couple spots. But to be completely honest with you, I live in Portland, Oregon, which has some of the best vegan food in the entire world. It's everywhere. So I'm not really impressed when I go to places like New Jersey. I did have one restaurant, or there was one that was pretty good. But for the most part, usually I'm like, well, middle of the road, I guess. Does that sound pretentious?
No, if you're vegan, you're allowed to be. You're allowed to be
Thank you.
Because so much of it's shit. I'm on another part of my weird being able to do nothing. I can't do 2 things I enjoy in life, really. The 2 only things are playing the drums and going to the gym. Currently, I can't do fucking either of them.
Yeah.
So I'm getting really into vegan cooking. Mm-hmm. So I'm cooking a lot of shit and now I'm getting it good. I'm like, why the fuck doesn't everywhere just cook it like this? Isn't it the worst when there's the vegan option? It's that is a piece of cardboard with some spice on it.
Yeah.
What
was that?
You've earned to be pretentious about it.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I love being vegan. I think it's the best decision I've ever made, honestly. And I do think that I'm better than people who eat meat. That was a joke. I am vegan for the animals originally. And that's still very true, but I just find that there's more reasons to be than not to be. And I feel like the reasons why I would ever break vegan it would be for convenience, and that just doesn't sit right with me. Ethically, I feel like it's the best thing to do for a lot of reasons. And I don't want to contribute to anyone's suffering.
Whoa. Give me some reasons.
Okay,
this is your chance to fucking change people.
All right, I'm going to
And I'll give you mine afterwards.
Okay, sweet. Well, I think that we all know that it contributes an awful lot to the pollution and the destruction of our planet. And our government doesn't seem to want to do anything to curb climate change because they benefit, especially the military, has the biggest carbon footprint of the U.S. military than anyone else, maybe China. But it's just, they don't really seem to want to do anything meaningful to actually stop climate change. So I feel like it's been put on me as a consumer. It's now my responsibility to do what I can, which isn't, necessarily how it should be, but that's the reality of the situation that we're living in. So veganism, not only does it, stop like animals suffering and captivity and, being bred and living in terrible conditions and then dying really traumatic, a very traumatic death. It also, the meat and the dairy industry and the whole animal agriculture industry, it impacts a lot of suffering on people, Unfortunately, like in agriculture, there are people that are underpaid and, experience really traumatic working conditions and whatnot. But I've seen what people go through, working at factory farms, and that is not, you kill people or kill animals as your job, and it's got to be traumatic. And also the blueprint that it has on, the environment as well, that impacts suffering for people, like when...
And animals.
Right, exactly.
Fucking kicked out their homes indirectly from the death for eating.
Right. When the oceans rise, the water is going to be at the doors of people who can't afford to relocate, you know what I mean? And they're going to be refugees, and I just don't want to contribute to any kind of suffering. There's that, and then also just there's a health aspect, I guess, to it. But I mean, I kind of eat shitty junk food a lot of the time. So it doesn't matter if it's vegan or not vegan. You're going to put overly processed shit in your body. But how long have you been vegan?
Right. So you right there. You were fucking fantastic. That was
Thank you.
That was a ad for the ethical vegan. Right? That was really fucking good.
I got, there was a moment where I was like, oh my God, like my brain and my mouth are moving at two completely different speeds right now. Like,
I saw it.
Slow down.
I saw the moment.
Yeah.
I saw you clock it.
Yeah.
But it was fine. You fucking, it was like you went into like fight or flight mode.
Right.
But you nailed that.
Well, thank you.
And that's why I'm going to tell you my reasons. I'm not claiming it. I don't claim vegan because of a couple of points that you touched on. The convenience thing, like going to the gym and playing the drums. If I don't get an X amount of calories a day, X amount of protein or whatever, mm-hmm. I cannot fucking perform mm-hmm. on the drums. So I don't want to claim vegan and then be stuck in the fucking, those terrible places in the middle of America where you've got fucking Denny's and it's like the choices are fucking French fries and fruit.
Right.
Or nothing. So what I do is where there's a vegan option, I'll have it. Mm-hmm. If I'm eating out, 9 times out of 10 it will be vegan. At home, I cook vegan. And so what's happened is I'm probably 95% vegan by this point.
Okay.
But the reasons for it, even though I know all of your reasons are the right reasons, your ones, mm-hmm. Mine are so different. So the main reason I do it is to post it on the internet and annoy bacon people. That's the number one reason I do it.
Bacon enthusiasts are the worst. And it has to be an American thing, right? Like those people don't exist in the UK.
We still got it.
Really?
We got them, but you made them, but we also have them.
Like, well, our finest export.
I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them, and it's honestly that's like a microcosm of our society right now. On the flip side, people that aren't wearing masks and aren't getting vaccinated, right? I honestly think those people exist because of how fucking annoying the the government's been about the vaccination shit. Like, look at this celebrity getting vaccinated. How cool is it, everyone? Then they're doing what I'm doing to the bacon people, and they're going like, I want nothing to do with these fucking nerds. I'm going to not wear a mask and talk about it because I want to be separate from those people. That's what I do with the bacon people.
So can we agree that we can blame the internet for bacon people? Absolutely. And for anti-vaxxers?
Yes, we can blame the internet for absolutely fucking everything at the moment, I think. So I do it for that. So I half do it for, if I'm shuffling around, it's because I'm in fucking agony.
I'm sorry.
That's not your fault. It's my completely my fault. I half do it for those people, and then I kind of half do it, I guess, for the challenge of the restriction. Like, I'm a fucking psychopath. There's something wrong with my fucking brain in every aspect. But, like, having to think... Obviously, I do it for the fucking animals and whatever. But having to, like, really change my cooking... like finding new like substitutes, and then when you actually like nail, like first time I nailed like a spaghetti bolognese with no animal product in it, and it tasted better than a beef one, like genuinely better. Not when vegans go, oh, taste this, you can't tell the difference. Like, I'm eating fucking nut dust right now, and you're telling me, oh, it tastes exactly like pulled pork. It tastes like a fucking shoe. Shut up. But when you nail it, the reward is insane. It's like it's probably the same, whatever part of my brain makes me want to play an instrument, and like when you nail a hard part or whatever that, it's probably some fucking dopamine issue. The thing that rewards me, I get that with vegan cooking when I'm like, this is actually fucking sick. Right.
It feels like you're overcoming like a boundary. You know what I mean? Or like... Yeah. Like...
You like achieved it. You've achieved something.
It is a challenge. You know?
But when you get it, it's fucking sick. But the main reason is to piss the fucking bacon people off.
I love that.
That's why I post, even though I'm not actually vegan, I'll post like the vegan emoji next to when I post the cooking. Just because the replies will be like, but bacon though, bro, and then that person just gets restricted, and it's like you will never ever have a chance to ask me what snare drum head do you use,
right?
So it's mainly to piss those people off. Sorry, go on.
I mean, that's a privilege. I block people all the time. Not block, but like that. Yeah.
I love it. Do you know what I do when I do? I don't know if you've seen when I do my drag. No. Have you not seen? You haven't seen this?
No.
Wait.
I love drag, so I.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Can I send you a photo without it ruining the whole thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What would it ruin? The podcast?
I can't believe you haven't seen this.
Wow.
Okay, so what I normally do is, I love drag as well. When I'm on, I haven't done it for a while because I didn't want to do it during Pride Month because it seemed fucking insincere and like I'm trying to get money. But on Twitch, because I love drag and I fucking love dressing up like a woman, which is, I guess, loving drag. But I have a sub goal, and if we hit it, then I go full drag. And I do whatever. We did people sent in like actual problems they were having, like with their relationships and stuff, and I just answer them in drag. But let me send you a photo, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Let me find my hottest one.
Have you ever played a show in drag?
No. So it's a real thin line because okay, let me just. I don't want to check that I'm not accidentally fucking sending you. Yeah, I literally accidentally sent you a nude that my girlfriend sent me.
That's really funny. I work box office at the venue sometimes, and people will like take screenshots of their ticket barcode on their phone, and then I'll be like, oh, can you turn up the brightness or like, you know, zoom in, and they'll zoom out. And one time this guy, like, you know, when you zoom out of your picture and it goes to your album, and it was just dick pics. It was one of the most awkward moments. All right, I got the photo. Wow, that's a woman.
That's me.
I'm fishy, baby. That is beautiful. You're beautiful. I love pink. The pink hair is really a vibe. That's awesome.
Oh, pink hair is the fucking best. So you also have some pink hair going on there.
I do. I got a little bit of pink and blonde. My girl Heather just did it a couple days ago, and I cut. Shout out Heather. She's one of my besties. I grew out my hair over the pandemic because I haven't had long hair in a while. And it grows. Heather and I have an undercut where I shave underneath because I have so much hair. And we measured the hair that was shaved and grew out, and it was 2.5 inches. And I got my hair. It grew 2.5 inches in like 3 months. My hair grows so fast.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, vitamins, I guess. I don't know.
When I first did the drag, so I've done it like maybe 5 times now. When I first did it, I lost 500 and something followers immediately. And I was like, oh, fuck you guys. Oh, I went crazy on it. And then there was a lot of like hate in the comments. Obviously, you know, just homophobic shit. So what I started doing is obviously the really homophobic stuff, people got blocked. But the people that were like, dude, why? You know, like the what's the word? The ingrained homophobia, where they don't think they're being homophobic. Like when people say like no homo, but it's like, actually, that's homophobic. Those people, the comments like that, oh, dude, why? I put them in the restrict box. So my restrict box is only for people who, there's like a purgatory. And then when they ask me for advice in DM, and they always fucking do, I then give them the wrong advice. So this just like, I'm a psychopath. But like some guy had left a shitty comment on a photo of, my drag name is Antifa, by the way.
Cute.
Yeah, isn't it? So
amazing.
Someone had left, Anne's got her own Instagram. Someone had left like a shitty comment, but like shitty, but not shitty enough for me to block. So I put them in the restrict, and then I basically waited, and then this guy was like, "Hey man, I saw you got this Mac. I'm just wondering if it works with all these plugins, because that's the reason I haven't made the jump." And I knew that it didn't work with all those plugins, and I told him that it did. And then he went and bought one, and then it didn't work with those. And then I could just see him in the restrict box going, "Hey man, you said this worked. What did you do to get it work?" And the guy like wasted $2,000 on a Mac. That's what you fucking get, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's street justice.
That's
right there.
That's what I'm trying to do there on the internet. Plus, you said it yourself.
That's awesome.
I look beautiful. I look nice.
You look great.
It was nice. I thought I looked quite good. He was mean to me.
Well, I don't know. The internet, man. I could talk about that all day. But I kind of have a fear of public speaking. Is that ironic?
Very.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Publicly saying opinions sometimes is scary, especially about, you know, I'm sure you don't think so, though. I feel you're pretty, as you should be, very proud of, you know.
But it's born out of how I'm like the world's worst spokesperson for, you know, being nice to people, because I actually I'm filled with hatred for the people who are filled with hatred. So if I see someone being like that way online, I have to smoke them. I have to like not only smoke them, but ideally make them waste $2,000. Like I really go in on the revenge.
Yeah, I am really not a mean-spirited person.
Well, I never
I
said
wish I
was
could.
mean-spirited.
No. That's
I'm
not what I
joking.
mean. That's not what I
joking,
mean.
joking.
I'm
know
sorry.
you didn't mean that. I know you didn't mean that.
I am too nice. I know I'm too nice to the point where like I will like let someone creep on me. Like last night I was at a bar and I was hanging out with my friends and this one guy, like we were all sitting on the bench and there was like 10 of us at this little tiny table. So this guy I didn't know, he was like literally just like pressed up against me and like just was trying to include himself in my conversation. And my friend texted me and was like, "Are you okay? This guy's weird." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just like straight up ignoring him." But like, I feel like I could just have the bone in my body to turn around to this guy and say, like, "Hey, give me space." You know what I mean? Or like, "You're being weird." I just don't have that bone in my body. I'm too nice and I'm like afraid to like, especially when it comes to like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You know what I mean? Like I feel I want to hope that everyone has the right intention, but I don't know. I'm too nice. It's going to be I'm trying not to be, and it's hard to overcome that.
I can't.
It's a fear thing.
I literally cannot possibly relate as a, being a guy, but like what level of creep are we talking? Because you just said I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If someone's being a creep, their feelings need to be hurt. Or was it just it like
he seemed harmless?
And yeah, but
it was still weird.
The worry is like, it was yesterday. There's this girl Lena that I know, and she posted that someone was like following her home, and she like snapped at him. I was like following her, and she snapped at him, and then the guy fucking stole her phone. She got straight up mugged. So it's like you can't fucking win. Like you either get harassed walking, or there's the if you say something, could it get fucking worse? I cannot relate, and because I can't possibly like relate to it because it doesn't happen to me because I am a man. I mean, it happens to men. Of course, it happens to men, but you know what I mean. It's, for the most part, it is men doing this to women.
Right, men are scary. I fear men in like a weird way. You know what I mean?
I don't blame you.
Yeah, the only time that I really get mean is when when it has to deal with authority, specifically cops. I'm not nice to them. Or, like a person of authority trying to like, tell me what to do if they don't have the right to, like, I don't know, like if there's like a tour manager when I'm like production managing, if there's a tour manager, like one time, I won't mention the band, but their tour manager is a guy who's like probably 6'5". He's got a handful of rings. He's jacked, you know what I mean? And, I had to charge him $200 for a meet and greet fee. It was advanced, and he like got in my face like he was going to physically hurt me. And I'm like, I'm small and a woman. Like, what part of this is okay? But I do think that like there is a thing in the music industry where there's like kind of a lot of aggro, like male energy that's still acceptable. So that sucks. And is probably going to be something, being a woman on tour that I'm going to encounter a lot in the future. So that's when I'll put my foot down.
I don't want to, unless you want to talk about that, like things that you've experienced, but I would like to ask how men could be better, because there's definitely a lot of men being just fucking. There's obviously a lot of pieces of shit, but there's also a lot of just people that are fucking idiots. Like prime example, like just not being educated by stuff. Is there anything that happens so frequently that you're just like, okay, this is whatever, it is what it is, but people need to stop doing? Do you know what I mean?
Well, one thing I've noticed lately is people trying to tell me how I should do vocals because they assume that I don't know what I'm doing. Comments like, there's one that's like, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. You should try gargling."
What?
And like there was one review where this guy, it was like a reaction video, and he was like, "Be louder," and I'm like, "That's not really how that works."
Wait,
like,
what was he reacting to?
Until Morning Comes, the single.
What do you mean, be louder? It's fucking mixed. What the fuck? Oh, men.
Yeah.
Men. This is why I dress
And
up
also-
like a fucking woman, to get away from it. Let me be. Disclaimer: I don't want to be one, but let me be one sometimes to just fucking get away from it. Jesus.
There is something really beautiful about being a woman, and there's especially something really beautiful about being queer and, the queer community. And there is, it's definitely a safe place. You know what I mean? Like, it's safer than like a lot of the places that I've grown up in, growing up in hardcore shows and like kind of the metal scene and, yeah, I wish that there was more visibility of that, because there are a lot of queer people that are into these music subcultures, but I feel like they're like intentionally, like, it's, I don't know, they feel invisible to me, even though they're there. I wish that there was more of it.
So what? This is something that these are two. Oh, now we're getting real deep. We haven't even fucking talked about your band. So this is something that.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We're gonna get onto that. This is something that I don't know the answer to. So would I technically fall under the queue because of, dressing like a woman, drag and stuff? But like I worry, because I don't know what the fuck, like queer, what that encompasses. Whereas I do a lot of stuff that would be, I guess you would use that word traditionally offensively against people like me, but I'm not gay. Like,
queer, and that's the thing, it's up to you. That's not for me to tell you what you are, and that's another thing. I've never like really understood where I fall on the gender spectrum and the sexuality spectrum, and so if that's how you feel, then you're queer. You know what I mean? If there's like, is there not, I don't want to use the word confusion, but it is a thing that you have to decide yourself. Like, are you queer? You know what I mean? Nobody's going to tell you like,
but what's the criteria?
Well, you're not good enough to be queer,
what's
or
the
like
criteria there? Because the last thing I would want to do is like any form of like queer erasure. Do you know what I mean? Because like,
okay,
I'm a quote unquote straight guy, but I struggle with like either straight or pan, but I don't know where queer comes into that, and I wouldn't want to like go around and be like, I'm queer, and then people are like, actually, I am what you're doing as a straight, appearing straight guy is actually erasing me. So I just don't do anything. I just go around and sometimes I dress like a woman, It's just fucking.
That's
do whatever
okay.
I do.
That's okay too. Whatever makes you comfortable. I've never really worn my queerness on my sleeve, partly because I didn't feel like I was gay enough. You know what I mean? To like really be accepted. But then like I'm just myself at the end of the day, and that's good enough for me. And like if I fit into this community, then that's wonderful. And if not, then I'm proud of who I am at the end of the day. And like I said, like nobody can tell you what your identity is. You know what I mean? And that's definitely a problem. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so-and-so says they're bisexual, but, they haven't dated anyone of their, of their same gender, that kind of thing. So, and what, sorry,
I was just going to say that would be my worry with, saying I'm queer is that, like, the bisexual thing is it's a big one where people are like, oh, well, you've never actually done it. It's like, well, who are you to fucking say what is like?
Right.
They haven't found the right person. The moment hasn't been right. Whatever. Like, but there's a lot of that, and I would hate to ever. That's why, like, I do Anne every month, and it's genuinely because I love it. I love fucking Drag Race, But I didn't do it on Pride Month, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, why aren't you doing Anne this month?" It's like, because I don't want to, because it's Twitch. I profit. I don't want to profit off something that a community that I don't know if I'm actually part of. I'm definitely an ally, but I don't want to profit. So I was just like, I'm just fucking not doing it this month because.
Right. Well, the great thing about queerness is it's fluid. So you might not feel today like you are a queer person. And it's difficult because you think, oh, I have to, in order to be queer, I have to meet these criterias. You know what I mean? And like, I have definitely grown in that aspect. The older I get, the more I embrace it. And you might do the same. And somebody who's listening to this podcast, they might not think, that they're queer now, but I know people who have, really like come into their queer identity, like in their late 20s to like their 40s, you know what I mean? And, just like, don't be afraid to embrace that part of yourself and like, you know what I mean? Grow into that if that's something that you want to do, which it seems like maybe, that's something you're interested in exploring.
Oh, this is my therapy now, isn't it? I mean, I love it. I do it every month. And when I'm Anne, I'm fucking Anne. I'm not, but it's not that's right. Again, one of the things that annoy me, usually bacon people as well, sending me, why have you got your pronouns in your bio? Or I think it's hilarious you have your pronouns in your bio. And I'm like, motherfucker, there's, besides the point where, it costs me nothing, it's no effort whatsoever, and it makes other people feel comfortable. Besides that point, I literally post photos of me as a woman on here, and friends and family have been like, do you want to be a woman? And I definitely don't. And that's in there. So not only, like, at what point are you not seeing the benefit on either side of that?
Right. Yeah, no, having your pronouns in your bio normalizes that. So, and it was a thing that I think queer people started, so that they aren't misgendered, which is wonderful. But I think that when everybody does it, it kind of like really allows us to like unpack this way that we think about gender. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this person has their pronouns in their bio and they call the person they're in a relationship with their partner. They must be queer. You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of go back and forth on the partner thing for straight people using it. I like think that, I've had conversations with a good friend of mine, and he, he's like, it was one of those things that we forced the gays to do, and then we co-opted it once we thought it was cool. You know what I mean? So there's that opinion. And then on the flip side of the coin, you're normalizing this language so that we don't, you don't meet someone and they say partner and, it's not like your first instinct isn't what is the gender of the person. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
That's fucking, it's fascinating though, isn't it? And it's annoying. Like, I can tell by talking to you, and hopefully you can tell by talking to me, that like we're just both out there, not fucking big pat on the back, but trying to make other people feel comfortable. But then there's people out there who are literally trying to make these people feel uncomfortable, which is fucking horrendous.
Yeah. I don't know. There's evil out there, but as long as, and that's the thing about the community is the support system. And I feel that way about music too, like there's always going to be the negative, but the support system and the community behind it is a beautiful thing as well.
And it's the bacon people again. It is. They're always the bacon people. I'm sure I can be proved wrong. I have never met a ignorant vegan, like a socially ignorant vegan. I've met some vegans doing everything for the wrong reason who are probably socially ignorant, but it's born out of a place they're trying to be good. But I've never met like a bacon person but vegan. Like someone, why are your fucking pronouns in your bio? Like, oh, by the way, I also don't eat meat. It's weird.
Right. Yeah. We could have a Downbeat drinking game.
What
And every time the word bacon is mentioned, you take
in
a
this
drink.
episode? I will add that to the start of the episode.
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
We
we'll do that.
still got ways to go for this to circle back. My microphone just unplugged for a hot second. Sorry.
When?
I need to get
Is it back? Is
just
it
now.
good?
Yeah, it's good. I can see it when it does that. I need one of those stands. Tom hooked me up with this little setup that I've got here, but
What a fucking nice guy. Let me make a note and just check if I have to edit that. I'll just do that. Okay, we should probably talk about your fucking band because we haven't, and it's a long time.
Yes, sorry.
So, I'll tell you this about the Downbeat, though. No one cares about the fucking band. This will go out to however many people. They will have decided by now, and I'm sure I know the answer, that they like you, and they are going to go and check out your new album regardless. Awesome. So, in my head, this is already a success. We've had a lovely conversation. What I want to talk about is, how old are all of you? You don't have to give me your exact ages. I just want to know, like... 20, obviously 20s, but are we early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s?
By the time this podcast comes out, I will be 27. And
when's your birthday?
And September 16th. I'm a Virgo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah. So we're all the same age. Pedro, who plays guitar, and Jeff, who plays drums. We went to middle school and high school together. So we've known each other for well over a decade at this point. And we're all pretty much the same age. I think Andrew, he plays bass. He is older. I think he graduated a year before we did. Yeah, he's 28. Doesn't look a day over 25, but...
So this is what I want to get at, because your sound is like classic early metalcore. It's the shit I listened to when I was like 16. So when I was 16, you definitely weren't like old enough to be listening to that. You are maybe I'm just finger off the pulse. The first of the, like, I guess the new wave of it. I listened to it. It sounds like the first couple of Lamb of God albums, the first couple of Killswitch albums, the shit that I fucking grew up on and I fucking loved. How did the love for that come about?
Well, our guitar player Sam, that's his bread and butter right there. At the Gates, Lamb of God is a huge one. Killswitch, obviously. We have a huge influence, and Howard is, one of the best metalcore vocalists, in my opinion, especially with like his dynamic between his singing voice and his screams. Really great. That is what we're going for. You know what I mean? That's kind of the blueprint, but we want to add like our own dynamic to it, being kids from ultimately a hardcore background, and what that means for us ethically and how we implement that into our music, and kind of just like we want to bring back the sound refreshed in our own way.
And I mean, that is what you've done. I'm very surprised no one else has done it yet. Like, or there's not like maybe you're going to be the start of like a revival, but I listened to the record when Tom sent it to me and I was like, this sounds like it was made in 2003. Everything about it. It sounds like Adam D fucking mixed it. Sounds like
That's
2003.
Awesome.
There's a fucking Zilbell. I remember that when we toured with you. I was like, that kid's got a Zilbell, and it's just fucking why no one bring that back sooner? I'm so glad it's you guys to bring it back.
Me too. I can imagine that. I do think there are a couple other bands like that are kind of bringing back an old sound, but like we're very intentionally doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the harmonized like guitar leads and stuff I've not heard from another band except you guys. There's bands there's hardcore bands doing the Poison the Well thing again, but I've not seen I've not heard another band doing, at least not to your level, the like early metalcore thing.
Right. Yeah. I'm
That
just
wasn't
now
really a question.
realizing how special it is.
I wasn't even a question. I just sort of left it open weirdly because I'm a fucking psychopath. But
Right.
if anyone's listening and they're like, oh, maybe I'll check it out. It sounds like it was made in 2003 in the nicest possible way. It sounds like a Kill Switch album that didn't exist with a little bit harder breakdowns. I mean, quite a lot harder, but some of the breakdowns are fucking crazy. I think it's in the Coward song. Yep. There's like a breakdown halfway through, and you're like, oh, that's the breakdown. It's kind of sick. And then there's a breakdown at the end that is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really great. Sam and Randy in the studio killed it. And I remember Cowards, the first song on the record, was the first song I tracked vocals to, because they wrote that and I was like, immediately, this needs to happen. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, we heard it and it was like, this is where we get the juice. You know what I mean? This is our jumping point. So we did that. And I just remember listening to that song for the first time and Randy was like, you sound fucking crazy. The song is unhinged. It's purely unhinged. It's going to be our favorite song to play live probably, because I am a fan of violence.
Okay.
Not necessarily like I don't want people to like hurt each other, but like the energy like of that song, like if it's paralleled in the pit, people just like going fucking crazy, jumping off the stage, like that is everything that I want out of this experience. So
I wonder if Tom has said this to you, but you know which territory is going to go fucking nuts for Dying Wish?
Who?
Japan.
Oh, yes. That's some bucket list shit right there.
Japan mosh is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It is insane.
If you went into my YouTube history, you could find me looking up videos of Japan mosh.
It's fucking crazy. But like, I can't remember. I'm sure there was another like a more Poison the Welly revival band, and they just fucking, I can't even remember off the top of my head, but Japan just fucking lapped it up. They love a real violent mosh, but so respectful with everyone else. It's like, it's not a crowd killing mosh. It's I'm gonna go fucking absolutely ape shit in my own space, and so am I, and so am I, and so am I. And then and it's the technical prowess in their moshing as well. It's like, have these motherfuckers practiced? Like, practice at home.
It's a level of athleticism is really what it is. It's wild.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Dying Wish on one of those Japanese hardcore all-dayers. Like, I just want to see the shitty fucking camera video of it and just the crazy mosh. And I know I will. You guys will go there. Tom will fucking sort it out when this fucking COVID shit fucks right off. Yeah. And it will be so sick. Oh, maybe we could go together.
That would be fucking awesome. Do you guys, I'm sure you do well in Japan. Like, that's...
You do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I didn't get to go. The last time we went, I didn't get to go. Someone else had to go.
Really?
And play instead of me, yeah. I had a fucking... I had a mental breakdown. But
I'm sorry.
But I didn't get to go, and it sucks. So everyone else is like, they went 2 years ago. I went 4 years ago. So I have like serious, just, I miss it so much. It's one of those places that have you ever actually been, or you just confined to YouTube? It's one of those places that when you go, you'll never look back. Like, you need to go once a year. It's like a drug.
I've never left this continent.
Really?
Been to Canada a handful of times, been to Mexico twice. Yeah, never been overseas anywhere. So we were supposed to do Europe in November, but obviously there's this little thing called COVID happening, so we're doing it next year. And I can't wait. Never been over there, and heard amazing things.
Honestly, that will be better for you. I know it's COVID obviously sucks or whatever, but the record being out, like, Euro kids will fucking lap that shit up.
Right. Yeah. I'm very excited. And we get a lot of love out there too. Sharptone, I think they're based, they have, their offices out in UK, I believe. So we get love out in the UK. We don't have UK dates on that tour though.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I heard about this.
Yeah.
There's some internal shit where we were like, oh, we could do something, and then you should definitely try. And I'm sure Tom is sorting it out, but try and sort something UK out, because it's like the same distance you would drive to go from France to Germany. You can go from France to the UK, and and then we can do a video version of the podcast.
That would be awesome.
If only for that.
Right.
And I'll do my hair pink in honor.
We can match.
I might do my hair pink again, actually, next week. I was going to go the Heavy Awards, of which you are also nominated. I was going to go, and I was going to go as Anne. And my plan was, if I won, then I would accept the award as Anne, as if I wasn't there, and be like, sorry, Craig can't be here. And it was going to be really sick. But then... and then I fucked my back, and there's two things. Like, number one, if Anne doesn't wear flats. So, wait there.
Oh, you got some, what are they called? Pleasers?
Oh, I don't have pleasers.
Wow. I could never.
You just got to believe, Henny. Right. So I was gonna go as Anne, but she doesn't wear flats. So if I fall, because I have a fucking literal broken vertebra in my back, number one, if I fall, something really, really fucking bad could happen. And then the other thing is, like, unfortunately, getting to the award ceremony in full drag is gonna get some undue attention, at least at some point. And I am quite a fighty person. Now, if I get into a fight right now with some sort of fucking homophobic person, again, I could end up fucking paralyzed or something. So it's just better. I'm gonna have to go in boring old boy mode.
Well, I hope you win. That would be amazing.
I hope you win.
If we win, will you accept the award on our behalf? We're not going to win. Spirit Box is going to win. There's no way they're not going to.
Oh, what a fucking... Yeah, that sucks. They are going to win. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
They are going to win. If they weren't... Who else is in the group? Do you know? You don't have to go and search. If you don't know, you just say you don't know.
No. I don't remember.
But yeah, they're going to win. It doesn't matter who else is in there. Still, nice to be fucking nominated. That's fucking cool. Because that
is very cool.
I don't know if you know. I think it's 600 people that they get the shortlist from. So there's 600 people that are on the committee. I think I heard this. It's either 60 or 6. Sorry, it's either 60 or 600. But either way, that means enough people said your band from like the industry.
Right.
It's not like one person didn't decide that. It's enough people said your band to be shortlisted, which is fucking sick.
Yeah, I mean, so much crazy shit has happened. Like we get a lot of love from like, Revolver, and then from Heavy Music Awards, and it's awesome. I can't thank Revolver especially enough for their support, and Heavy Music Awards, and our team is awesome. Like, Tom is awesome, Sharptone's awesome, our agent Jake is awesome. We've got shooters, straight shooters out here.
Fuck yeah. I mean, having Tom on your team is immediately elevation. Yeah. Guy fucking rules. Right, what I'm gonna do is because I've just realised we've just been fucking shooting the shit.
Right.
Don't worry. There's a lot of excellent content. We've done your fucking band. Honestly, this is what I do. I'm so happy we've had other things to talk about than the worst thing is, like, because we know each other. We talk together. We don't know each other.
Right.
the worst thing is when you get someone and they don't have, you've got nothing in common, you've got no common interest, common ground or anything, and then it's an interview, and I fucking hate that. I just want it to be like a chat. And so this has been lovely, but I need now your top five artists of all time.
Oh shit. Well,
yeah, and we're gonna go one by one. You're gonna say one, and then I'm gonna have an opinion on it, and we may stay on that artist for a while. We may go further into that artist, or we may just wash over it.
Whoa. Okay, so I can say without a doubt, my number one is SZA.
Nice.
There's something about her. She's so extremely vulnerable and so beautiful and smart, and the way that she writes her songs are so brutally honest, and like I just like have never felt impacted emotionally the way that I do by her music by anyone else. So SZA is definitely my number one.
Number one, sick. Number two.
Honestly, Citizen is probably one of my favorite bands. That band can't do any wrong, you know. They're kind of like brand new in a way. Obviously, take away all of the Jesse Lacey shit. That band put out perfect records, and they all sounded different, but they all sounded like brand new. And Citizen is doing the same thing. They all of those records sound different in their own respect, but they're perfect, and they're Citizen. You know what I mean? Like, no band sounds like that. They just are. And they often get lumped in with like pop punk. And they're not a pop punk band.
It's so weird, that whole lumping them, and there's like some other bands that people just say are pop punk. It's like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
This is rock music. This is alternative rock. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah. Shoot. This is hard. Kendrick Lamar. I listen to a lot of R&B and like rap music. I love metal, but you know, everything on the spectrum. Kendrick is amazing. I think Good Kid, Mad City is probably one of the best hip hop records of all time, in my opinion. Is that a spicy one?
I mean, it's great, but that's a spicy take.
Some would say that's not even his best record. They would say probably To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, I think I would say that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I'm a sucker for a concept album. And, you know, Good Kid, Mad City is a movie. And it's just written so well.
Wait, is your album a concept album?
No. There are a lot of really... Right. There are a lot of really general themes that overlap, though. The general theme is pain, suffering, and uncertainty. So,
as you would expect with a 2003 metalcore album. That's fucking
exactly.
sick, though.
Yeah. All right. If I've got to say, Hatebreed, one of my favorite bands of all time. I mean, we're talking Perseverance and Satisfaction. First three records, Under the Knife too. You know what I mean? Like, just top tier.
Wait, are you out by Rise of Brutality?
Rise of Brutality's good.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of out. And
then after that, it's Concrete Confessional, and it's just.
I think. Is there a self-titled in there? Is Supremacy next? There's great songs on those, but the first EP and 3 albums are fucking unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A Call for Blood is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. There's just something about that song that just it's, it's violence.
Let the Blood Spill Before the Breakdown is just fucking... That's in that song, isn't it? Yeah. Unreal.
Your Reign of Terror is coming to an end. It's just so good.
And then fucking within 2 tracks, or it might even be the next track. One of my favorite albums. Couldn't name you all of the song titles. You were never part of my life and you never will be. Unloved. Oh my God. What a fucking
I was born unloved.
Unreal.
Yeah. I would love to get that like tattooed on me somewhere.
Fucking unbelievable gym album, that. It's
yeah.
Definitely. I would say maybe the best gym album of all time.
Okay, though. I don't really have service in my gym. So I download records and I listen to the same record at the gym every single day since it came out. The Gods Hate Self-Titled.
I've used it myself.
The song, what is it? The third song on the record. They have that. It's like this awesome drum fill into this chant.
Yeah.
Kill them, kill them.
Yeah.
That's like right there. That's like PR spot. The drummer is Colin from Twitching Tongues, and then Taylor Young plays guitar. They're brothers. And then the singer is Brody King.
It's both of them from Twitching Tongues.
Mm-hmm. I want to say
I didn't know that. I recognize the drummer.
Yeah. He's the singer from Twitching Tongues, which is also one of my favorite bands. Like since Insane and Inhumane came out, I was a kid. I was like 16.
They haven't done anything in ages, or am I just fucking fully off the grid?
They put out a record 3 years ago. I went on tour with them actually, because I dated a guy that was in a band that they toured with, and so I just like tagged along and sold merch, and it's really good. I think it was pretty underrated and like flew under the radar for whatever reason, but and they've got one of the original guitar players from Hatebreed in the band now too.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. What's your... Well, you got one left.
One left. Okay, so one of the best things that has happened to me in the last year is becoming a Deftones fan. I feel like throughout my life, I have tried to listen to it, and now I'm at the point in my life where it actually makes sense to me. For the first time, you know what I mean? I don't
because of Tom.
Well, kind of. Yeah, actually, he like sent me a playlist and he was like, "These are all of the essentials." I was already kind of getting into it, but at first I started with White Pony, and then I listened to Around the Fur, and I was like, I like White Pony more. And then I started to get into Diamond Eyes, and I think Diamond Eyes is probably my favorite Deftones record. And then within the last like 2 weeks, I've been really getting into Saturday Night Wrist, I think is what it's called. That's a sleeper, or like a, not a sleeper, but that's like, I feel one of those records that I've never really heard people talk about, but it's got some really good tracks on it.
It's a tough one when a band is that has that huge of a discography and of that like diverse, and then you like trying to get into it. I honestly, I grew up with White Pony and Around the Fur were like big, and then I found it was like, I fell off, and then it was hard to get back in. Mm-hmm. I feel like I like maybe 3 or 4 songs per record.
Really?
But they're not like, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say they're one of like my top 5. The 5 spot is hard to fill, but I do think they're probably one of the bands I'm really obsessed with right now, and I can see them down the line being like one of my like, top 5 bands. If we keep
the 5
going.
spots are rotational, I think.
Right.
Mine's usually like a revolving door.
Yeah, I mean Paramore's up there too. I really love Hayley Williams. She's been like a pretty big inspiration for me writing wise. She's also very vulnerable and smart, just kind of like SZA. But yeah. There's another band right now, too, that I'm obsessed with that I need everyone to listen to. They're called Better Off. They're from Nashville. Are you familiar?
Nice. Yeah, Tom showed me.
So good.
There you go. You got your shout out.
Sweet.
My AirPods are on 5%. I think you've done a wonderful job of not only selling your job as a vocalist in a very good band, but also veganism, a bunch of other shit. I've had a lovely chat.
Thank you.
I always know it's been good when I like have to accidentally do the top 5 because
right.
it's already over the time that it should have been, and
Right.
that's fucking sick.
Well, thank you so much. This was great, and I
really
loved that I got to know Anne today. You know.
I mean, you'll get to know her again. I'll let you know when I'm gonna go live on a Twitch with her, probably next month.
Awesome.
It's weird. Let's get real. I'm very much a Switch, and I'll
Nice.
have like 2 months maybe where I'm like, I am a fucking super dominant alpha male, and then I will have a moment where I'm like, I need to dress up like a woman. It needs to happen, and then I do it, and it like scratches the itch, and then I'll go back. As I said, I'm just generally a psychopath.
You sound like Tom.
I mean, he's definitely a psychopath.
Except for he says, I'm a fucking genius.
Oh, he does do that. I mean, I probably do that as well.
Yeah. No, this was great. Thank you so much. And sorry about your back. Hopefully next time we can sit down and talk. You're healthy and we can talk more about gym stuff.
I'll tell you this, if I'm not by the next time we talk, there'll be trouble.
All right. Hell to pay.
Myself.
Yeah.
Hell to pay. Right. Save your fucking file.
Okay.
Please email it to me. Please. Let's just fingers crossed that it's going to work.
Yeah.
I'll do the rest. I'll speak to Tom about when we can do it. We'll do the thing.
Sweet.
Wait. Have you got a US tour coming up? We probably should plug it.
Yeah. We're doing, I think we've got over 50 days on the road throughout the rest of the year. So it's like probably more like 60 days of shows.
With who?
We're doing a tour next month with Motionless in White and Silent Planet, and we're doing routing to and from with Silent Planet, and then we're playing a couple shows with a band called Atreyu and 18 Visions.
Small.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
what a fucking lineup.
I know. In Arizona and LA. So we're doing those. And then if you're from the Northwest, where we are from, we're playing a show, a record release show in Portland and Seattle in October. And then we're going on tour with another band called The Acacia Strain and Harm's Way, Kubla Khan, Orthodox. And we're going to be doing 2 nights.
That's the heaviest tour. That's the heaviest tour I've ever fucking heard.
I'm very excited to play with all of those bands. I'm excited to tour with Harm's Way. I mean, that band's been doing it for a long time, so respect.
Hey, you got to fucking try and hit the tour with, what's his name, James? Hit the gym with fucking James. Guy is a fucking absolute unit.
Maybe he'll convince me to do chest workouts. I don't like doing chest workouts.
Why?
I just don't want to develop this part too much. You know what I mean? I'll do chest presses, but mostly like I'll do it on arm day so that like I kind of, it gets a little bit of a warm up in your tricep, and that's pretty much the only reason why.
It's the least cool one, really. It's bench press is the one that people that just go to the gym do. Like,
right.
Squats are where it's at. Squats and deadlifts. Come on.
Romanian deadlifts.
You are a psycho.
I do my rotation on leg day is squats and then Romanian deadlifts, and that's the combo.
Fucked up.
Yeah,
that's hamstring death. Right. Okay. We've done the plugs. We've done everything.
Let's do it.
Send me a file.
Kay.
Have a lovely time on these tours.
Thank you.
And have a great weekend.
All right. I will talk to you later. I'm going to save that and email it over.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.